Captain Insano shows no mercy, no mercy, no mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the All Day Football Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. Marco, man, what is going on in Cincinnati right now? It's been all Browns so far. The Browns are actually in the red zone. If I'm not mistaken, I think they get in right here on a. Oh no, it's a botched. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to look the way. It's a botched pitch by Jarvis Landry to Nick Chubb, and that's gonna put the field goal unit on for the Browns. But pending the kick, it might be 24. And let me just give it a second here and watch it. It is 24-7, Cleveland over Cincinnati. And bro, like I don't know what the hell is going on with the Bengals. The Bengals are bungling right now.
Yeah.
They spotted them 20 plays. Like you saw that stat. No, you saw that stat. They spotted them 20 plays. They had over 100 plus yards, and you only have 7 points. And not to mention, it's a tie ball game, 7-7, because you threw a pick six, 89 yards going the other way. Joe Burrow to Denzel Ward. It's a weird game in Cincinnati for the Bengals. I feel like they should be up. I feel like they should be up or even in this ball game, but the score doesn't have that. The Browns are really just running them over.
Absolutely, and let's look at that last touchdown by the Browns. Peoples-Jones, just how much more open could he possibly gotten on that touchdown? I mean, that was just broken down cover, secondary coverage by the Bengals, and I mean, the Cleveland Browns are just they're running away with this ball game right now.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's to me, I feel like it's been all Cincinnati, and then all of a sudden you look up and it's like, what the hell's going on in this game? You know what I mean? It's just been a weird one. If you're looking over at Baltimore and Minnesota, Minnesota's been doing a great job, fantastic job with the Baltimore Ravens. They've held them to 3 points. Minnesota's been able to run all over. You've seen Dalvin Cook with a big run, 60-something yards plus. It really has just been textbook for the Minnesota Vikings. Then you see Kirk Cousins get over the top with a touchdown run of his own. Lamar's been on the run a lot. He hasn't had a really steady pocket. There hasn't been really anybody open downfield for him for the most part. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore. They can't figure it out. Minnesota's just been outplaying them so far.
And this up to date, the Baltimore Ravens haven't allowed a 100 plus rusher this whole season, and then I think Dalvin Cook ran the ball for like 84 yards in just the first quarter of the game. So I mean, Baltimore. I mean, if you look at previous games for Baltimore, when they get lit up pretty bad, both aerial and and running. So it's Minnesota's just running. They're definitely having a great ball game right now.
Sorry, I just dropped out. My bad. No, Minnesota's just been controlling the game so far. Right now, I think I hear the kid waking up. So let's go ahead and pause. I'm going to go ahead and get back. We're going to go ahead and get back to you here in like 2 minutes. We'll pause and then we'll be back. Just give me like 60 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the kid, and then we'll be right back talking about Minnesota and Baltimore. Actually, no, I'm good. My wife just walked through the door, so I'm all right. So anyway, it's 14-3. The Ravens are going to be punting here. It doesn't look good. It's just Lamar scrambling left, Lamar scrambling right. It looks like Kansas City. It looks like what we saw with Patrick Mahomes against the Titans. He's scrambling left, scrambling right, not on his mark, not able to sit in the pocket. It's just been all Minnesota so far. Lamar hasn't had any time to settle down. He hasn't had any room to run, for that matter.
Absolutely. And
go ahead.
I was just gonna say today's just been a very odd day, a very odd Sunday of football for us. I feel like the games that we talked about, in the pregame, the teams that we picked are just not showing up today. It's absurd. One game that I'd like to touch on that we didn't talk about was that Dallas Denver game, and I feel like the the Dallas Cowboys are definitely, had a very solid, team going into the game, but Denver's just running all over them right now in the first half.
Yeah, and it's been a mess for Dallas. If you're Dallas, I trust that offense can figure it out. I mean, you're without a pass rusher. I mean, maybe it's addition by subtraction. If you're Denver, but you just trade away Von Miller. You know what I mean? I feel like this
Yeah.
team. I feel like this team should be, you know, this team should be who we saw in previous weeks, right?
Hmm.
Not a great offense, a defense that's been lacking. Uh, I don't know what's going on with Dallas, but they need to figure it out. 2 minutes ago until the half. If you look at other games, New England 7, Carolina 6, 4:28 to go in the before the half in that game. You got Buffalo tied 6-6 with Jacksonville. That ugly game with Houston and Miami is 7-3 Miami. And then you got Vegas tied with the New York Giants 10-10, and that one is a trap game. I feel like for the Raiders. You're at five
Yeah.
and two. The Giants are struggling. You're without Saquon Barkley, but as much flack as the Giants been getting, I just feel like that team is better than they're being coached or better than they're playing up to. Right? I just feel like the potential of that team. They have a lot there. I just don't know if they have the right guy to put it all together.
Yes.
They can't come up and beat you. I feel like this is a trap game for the Las Vegas Raiders against that New York Giants team.
I agree with that 100%. I think it's definitely it has all the ingredients of a trap game for the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they never count out the a team that is struggling, and like without Saquon for the Giants, I think there's a great opportunity for them, to get a victory on a Sunday against a Las Vegas Raiders team that has had a couple question marks up to date, but trap game Raiders for sure.
Yeah, trap game for sure, and it's just been a weird season for that Giants team. For the Raiders as well, Henry Ruggs news. You have the Gruden dismissal. Just kind of a two organizations that are at weird points. I mean, I felt like the Raiders. I felt like the Raiders were on the verge of trying to change their image and such. That is obviously clear that it has not changed. And then you go ahead and look at the New York Giants, who just can't seem to put it all together, even though I feel like the talent is there. You have a quarterback who's I really think that Daniel Jones isn't a terrible quarterback. I think he's more than serviceable. As he grows, he's still young. As he grows and as you continue to put talent around him, I think, sky's the limit. He's obviously a solid runner. We've seen him get out of the pocket plenty of times, gain big yardage. I don't get why that team can't put it all together. Maybe it is Joe Judge. Maybe Joe Judge is one of those, Belichick disciples that's just don't pan out. And majority of them, if not all of them. I think Vrabel, how many years did he spend on that Belichick staff? It's.
I mean, I think he was just a player. I don't think he's considered anything off of the coaching tree of Belichick. I think he just played for New England.
I felt like he coached linebackers for the Pats. We'll look that up later. But regardless, you have these guys that come from New England. They don't end up panning out. Their type of style, their type of way of coaching doesn't connect with the players. You see it time and time again. There's been plenty of guys. You got Brian Flores in Miami that's feeling that right now, and drafting Tua, I think that was a big mistake. I think everybody's realizing that right now. Tua doesn't stay healthy. Tua is a shorter guy. Like you need to have a perfect storm for a guy like Tua Tagovailoa. You need Drew Brees coming to the Saints when he did, right? Yeah. Going from San Diego to New Orleans. You need that type of that type of a team for a Tua Tagovailoa. Pretty much an already built team with a head coach who knows what the hell he's doing. And Brian Flores, on defense, I'm sure he doesn't. I'm not saying he's a terrible coach, but he's not an offensive coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what a mix, or what a aftermath for the Miami Dolphins as far as, they went from tank for Tua to tanking because of Tua. And, it's very interesting that the Brian Flores experiment in Miami, it hasn't panned out. They were supposed to be a rebuild team that was supposed to be contending for a
right
Super Bowl
now.
within a couple
Right
years.
now.
Yeah, right now, and it's just the short examples of brilliance that we've seen from Miami were just short lived because they just go right back to that Miami football that we've been accustomed to for the past decade. And I mean, I only who knows where Brian Flores stands at the end of the season if Miami decides to say, hey, you're not the guy. We're just not on the same page here as a direction that we want to head to.
Sorry, I'm on mute. I said just under 2 minutes in Baltimore, 14-3. The Ravens just had a solid defensive stop to force a punt. I'm imagining they're going to be punting here. Minnesota is with 2 minutes to go in the half and field goal and field position. Looking at this Bengals game again, it's been hard to watch, right? You have a team that had all the momentum, was on the first drive of the game in the red zone, ready to score, and 98-yard interception return for a touchdown. That's a dagger to the heart. I don't want to just point out that how it killed the momentum. It killed the entire half for the Bengals.
Yes.
I felt like that. Like
Yes.
even in the response, because they were able to respond quickly. It's just been like that has sparked the Browns so much that I feel like the intensity that the Browns have been bringing since then, it just hasn't been matched by the Bengals. I think the Bengals kind of took them lightly in a sense, right? Took them lightly. Maybe not coming in, but maybe after that initial, they score.
Yeah, and
maybe they're like, hey, maybe we misjudged it. Maybe it was a mistake. But I think that interception really got that Browns team up and ready to play instead of how flat they were to start.
Yeah, I mean, like, what a way to shoot yourself in the foot if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, I mean, you're coming off an embarrassing week. Previous week losing to the New York Jets in the manner in which they did, and then you go into a divisional game against the Cleveland Browns. The battle for Ohio, and you come out flat like that. Just a pick six. In the first drive. And then, like, I mean, you pretty much summed it up best. I mean, like, I feel like that was just a complete boost in confidence for the Cleveland Browns, as a whole, because they've just been trampling the Cincinnati Bengals. And now we're seeing that Bungles team that, that we're so accustomed to seeing. And, it's interesting, because we talk so heavily about how changed and how different that Cincinnati Bengals team looked up to date. You lose, what may or may not be considered a trap game against the New York Jets. You come out so flat against the Cleveland Browns now. So now, depending on how the scoreline holds up, at the end of the game, like, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions about that Cincinnati Bengals team.
Yeah, and right now it's Joe Burrow's rolling out to his right. Doesn't look like he's in. And it looks like he's definitely going to get a flag thrown on that. He did it. No flag on the play, and there's a scuffle, but there's definitely should have been a flag on that play. Joe Burrow rolling out to his right, dumps the ball out of bounds and gets whacked immediately by the defender, and no flag was thrown by the white hat. There are flags on the field now because the offensive lineman of the Cincinnati Bengals rightfully went right to the sideline and started giving anybody the business that they saw.
Now we're going to get the unsportsmanlike conduct,
Right, giving them the business. They went right ahead and gave. I think it was Clowney who did it. No, it wasn't Clowney. No, it was Clowney. I think that should be a flag. Like that's got to be like I don't know. That's got to be a flag in my opinion. That's got to be a personal foul on Clowney. But yeah, right. Immediately, offensive lineman went ahead and went right after Jadeveon Clowney for that cheap shot on Joe Burrow. You got an interception on Lamar Jackson in this game. Minnesota in good field position with time on the clock, looking to go up big on Baltimore. And yeah, some of these games, man, It looks like they are going to give him a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Oh, they're going to give it to the D tackle after the fact.
Right.
I think they're going to go ahead and give it. I think they made up for it. Let's see what Jackson did. Honestly, Jackson didn't do anything. They're throwing that flag because they know Joe Burrow was hit late. I think they're throwing that flag because they need to make up for what Joe Burrow for the hit.
Let's make up for what we missed.
Yes, I think because it didn't look like Jackson was actually trying to be a peacekeeper. I mean, he pushed Spain, but Spain was kind of being an aggressor. He was trying to keep him off the sideline. I think it was just a makeup call. They know look at the replay. Ball gone, leading with the crown, like almost helmet to helmet. Like he knows what he's doing. Like you want to put Joe Burrow on his butt, but
not
you're
like that.
You're the head referee. You're right. The head referee's running right in front of him. Like how do you not call that play? It's just a weird no call. But you got first down. Joe Burrow scrambling, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, second down with a minute left. You got a minute 33. Minnesota at 3rd and 11 now. They're in field goal range, but let's see, Adam Thielen just misses that football from Kirk Cousins. They're in field goal range, Minnesota. So at the very least, they should have 17 on the board going into halftime. At the most, they'll be up 21-3. Third and 11, 133 left on the clock. 33 seconds here in the Cincinnati and Cleveland game. Joe Burrow takes a snap, and Higgins. He had him. Higgins in the middle of the field in the end zone. Wasn't able to hold it on, got hit by 2 defenders. It's just been 2 solid games. I feel like Cincinnati needs a touchdown. If you want to, and you need a touchdown. I don't believe you get the ball in to start the second half. So you're going to need to get some points right here, right now, because you left some points on the field when you threw that pick 6. You were able to pick up, pick up a touchdown right after, but after that, it's been all Cleveland, and you haven't been able to do anything so far. So this is a critical situation for Cleveland. They're going to take a timeout, actually. And you have Minnesota on this end. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. It's been all Baltimore. I mean, all Minnesota and all Cleveland for the first half of this week 9 set of games. Let's go ahead and read some of the other scores quickly. Dallas still down 16. Let me refresh. Make sure that I'm correct. Looks like Kirk Cousins 3rd and 11. I bet you they're going to heave to the end zone right here.
I definitely can't wait to talk about these games. After they end a little bit in a little bit, just because the way things are going right now, it's like we're seeing some very dominant football from particular games right now on one side of the ball. But then in the second half, who knows? The teams that are supposed to be winning might actually turn it back on or turn it up and come back for thrilling victories. But we'll see how these games play out. I mean, another surprise that you touched on shortly a couple minutes ago is that Buffalo Jacksonville game. The fact that it's tied right now, it's a little surprising. As a fan, because you expect a team like Buffalo to be so dominant right now, but going up against a below mediocre Jacksonville team, and for them to be tied like right now at halftime, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it is weird, and I mean, they've had their struggles. The Bills have. Here I got the scores in front of me. 14-6 now. Patriots over the Panthers. You have 16-0 at the half. Broncos over the Cowboys, 6-6, like you had mentioned. Bills, Jaguars, 7-6. Dolphins over the Texans. Falcons up 10-0 over the Saints. And the Raiders take a 13-10 lead into the half over the New York Football Giants. So, all right, guys, these scores look like they're going to stay steady. I'm going to go ahead and find something to eat real quick. We're going to talk to you guys at the end of these games, going into the next set of games, which will be the Packers and the Chiefs. mainly, and I forgot the Packers Chiefs, and then we got your game, the night game.
Yeah.
We got the Rams and the Titans. So until then, guys, I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Marco Velasquez. This is the All Day Football Show on Sports Zone Chicago.
Captain Insano shows no mercy, no mercy, no mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.